Edrise Masoné's reality show. So where are we at right now? It's Thursday, September 5. Found a lot of interesting thoughts online. You dream and that you're just chasing your dreams and goals, whatever people think. And the school of Elon Musk, we have to follow our goals. Another thought was, are you serious about your goals? Well, I made a new resume. I found this article about leadership in Harvard Business Review. Leaders press for change and managers promote stability. So we're grieving for the loss of our lovely friend Darlene Diak. She was a mentor to me also. And these are just some of her Facebook pictures. It's so sad to lose somebody like that, especially to cancer. We heard the news about BlackRock and Vanguard, that they're the most influential investment funds. I'm trying to get in a BlackRock company right now. I've had so much rejection, but I made a better resume and just keep trying. So it was International Women's Day. There's my life coach, Priyanka Chopra. I don't remember the good words she had for us that day. I did not include them. So this is Spanish River Boulevard Beach, and I asked somebody to take the picture, and there I am right in the sunlight, and I said, I hope it is the path of God's light, but maybe it's just my thinking. So I did an act of trust. I bought the Palm Beach Post, and the Palm Beach Post is not really a newspaper anymore because everybody's reading news online, and the newspaper stand in Delray Beach on Atlantic Avenue is closed. So that newspaper is $5 like a magazine, but it was just an act of trust and hope. I also went up to Boynton Beach Mall, and there's a Jamaican restaurant up there. Usually when I go up there, I'm up there 2 days. Here's some more thoughts. Mistakes are the experiences you need to create value. And this was what excited me, is that these robots are working in construction, and I just met a construction superintendent who was in Boca, and he's got a job working in Delray. So some self-help is that you betray yourself if you change yourself for other people. You will belong to yourself if you don't betray yourself. When it storms, learn to dance in the rain. So I had this peace and prosperity event advertised on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I had this really great breakfast with grits at the Hideaway restaurant at Boca Raton Plaza Hotel. I hope I can have more days like this, starting the day with good grits. So I used to seek truth in the Jehovah's Witness organization, but it's not for me anymore. But I tell people I'm grounded in it. But my friend who is a Jehovah said I should use the word Jehovah, but she can't really tell me what to do. As Elon Musk said, I will say what I want to say. So truth is what happened and what is allowed. I'm having some issues with that, and I actually have an action plan and a change management plan, and I have to follow through on it first, networking with people in 3 groups and getting everybody on the same page and the same thought and to have the same goal. So there was a case at the International Criminal Court, and it got a $900 million verdict. So we say the courts in Florida are taking away Roe versus Wade, which is setting women back, and also it's toying with Donald Trump. So there has to be a better way. So this was a Chinese video about being strong by overcoming all the things that were meant to destroy you. And she's riding a horse and then she runs by the side of the horse. I didn't want to take this out of the video, just a little bit of spiritual. God will bring the right things into your life. And it says, people who watch you the most are the ones who don't like you. And people will ruin your things. And people love to ruin things, unfortunately. So, as Andrew Bustamante said on YouTube, we have to use our left brain and don't allow our right brain to hurt us. Stop your right brain. So, Priyanka Chopra said her parents were doctors and they told her to have an opinion, even if others disagree with it. Of course, Meghan Markle is our youngest feminist. At 11 years old, she said, if you don't like something, tell someone and you will help a lot of other people. So I was trying to analyze everything that I've experienced since 1967, especially things I do not like. Try to figure out how do they do that. So my friend who has a reality show, it's really a whole different format from this. This is kind of like I don't know what it is. This is from PowerPoints, but I call it a reality show. So it's Tracy Bushpate, that's right. She has a real reality show. She's featured in it. And Georgina Rodriguez and the Kardashians. So here's Tracy right here. She has such a happy smile. I guess she hasn't been through some of the things I've been through. So I'm talking a lot about the things that I've been through. And she just has a lot of fun all over the place on her reality show. So I know these people right here, and I really admire Mr. Batmasian. I used to work at his property, Winfield Plaza, and I go to his what I call practical religion meetings Saturday mornings, and I pray with Dr. Berry. There's Tracy again. Tracy had her trip to Cuba on her show, and it made me so happy because my dad's Cuban, and it told me a little about his culture and history and stuff like that. So I kept this in it because I really enjoy that. So Cuba had an embargo and they were stuck in time. So the cars from 1958, they had to get parts from China and Russia to maintain these cars. So they were stuck back in time, Havana and the Malia Hotel. I'm doing so badly on my Python class. It's really bad. And this is a Python class you have to pay for, but it's really good because it looks like you're writing algorithms, but you have to pay for that class. But this class, no, this was Charles Severinson, and it's easy and I like it. But I'm just going so slowly. So I was doing strings at the time. That was the last thing I was doing. And of course, I'm doing these AI webinars, and this was the webinar, and they have the AI Secret Society and all that. And that was Harvard Business Review about AI. Those are some robots. I just found some robots who are doing construction. But this is the business manager robot that I really like with a little tablet in his hand. But that robot has capability to do so much more because it will roam and videotape everything at the corporate office if you are remote. This is a cooking robot. So I always say I was here 10 years in evening classes and I graduated 2009. I want to get out here. So I'm struggling with something. I actually had an interview. The interview was so slow and methodical. And it seems like I got to a point where I didn't reason very well with the interviewer, with what he told me to do, but I felt like it was a roadblock. So we did not go ahead with that job. So I'm contending strenuously against how I respond to people and what people are asking for. This is just some little things for women that sometimes you think you share yourself with people so you can feel wanted, but it's not good to share yourself because you'll get a bad reputation. That's just a namaste, respect and dignity of the Indo culture. And my life coach says that people should respect women. And namaste is about the hands being in a symbolic gesture of gratitude and devotion. That's the Chinese culture with the bowing and kowtowing and dignity and courtesy of that culture. There's a Chinese lady in Boca Raton doing some kind of Tai Chi around a tree. I saw her a few days ago, so I did the kowtow that you do to the king. Did that to her. She was a distance away from me. And that's the courtesy, dignity, and respect. This is courtesy, dignity, respect, and gratitude. I won't elaborate too much on Omega Sci-Fi fraternity party and rap music. I won't beat up on them because I don't like people to beat up on me. Because that fraternity is doing big things in Miami, and I should not just try to pick out something about their rap music because I don't feel good about it. So we had the record-breaking Zoom meetings, and we have Kamala Harris is becoming such a phenomenal speechmaker now. Now, I feel that she won the election, except some FAU students were in McDonald's and they were so upset. They are like, no way would we vote for her. She'll ruin the country. But she's going to do something for equal pay for women. So it's more about the country changing their attitude towards women and empowering women than the other issues which they want to bring up, the Republicans want to bring up. So the school of Elon Musk is evolving because Elon Musk is buying Stanford University. He bought Twitter and he called it X, and I hear that he's going to call Stanford University X also. I guess he can do whatever he wants because he's so rich, but I don't really like it. It sounds a little crazy to me because universities are kind of foundation institutions, so the name Stanford means so much all over the world. I don't think he should change it. However, here's his genius. All those companies, and Fortune said he's a real genius. I agree. When you look at all his companies, that's a really nice graphic right here. So he said we have to go deep into the underlying principles. And he said winners believe in themselves, increase value, and put complex concepts into words. But what I really like is that he said, I'll say what I want to say. And freedom of speech cost him billions a year, but he still said, I'll say what I want to say. So I always say that too. Elon Musk said, if nobody helps you, do it alone. And he said, even if you fail, it doesn't mean it's impossible. He said, winning is a mindset. And understanding the game, then you won't panic. So kindness and gratitude. I did experience a little kindness this session. Boca Raton Plaza Hotel. The staff is very nice, and the coffee's I get coffee free there, and that's nice too. But I reciprocate by being a host at Saturday mornings at the Bat Masons, or you call it practical religious event every Saturday morning, changing lives and stopping people from negative habits which drain their energy. So here's my friend Claire, because I don't have any sisters in town. Claire's my friend. Claire told me about a job, but anyway. So that's Dr. Berry. He leads the prayer that I participate in. I like him because he's a book publisher, he has a PhD, and he's the director of Changing Lives. So I miss my two sons, but I watch these two young men, director and realtor. That's Shane and that's Dr. Berry. So it took 57 years to get over Jehovah's Witnesses. It took 23 years to get over my son's accident. It took 18 years to get over being bullied out of my municipal job. It took 10 years to get over losing my job in government. So the history is this is for my sons who suffered most of their lives and were killed. That's my little tyke in Jamaica safe with his great grandmother. Fortunately for me, my sister sent me the pictures to bring me back down to earth about the reality of things. So these two of these boys were gifted. One is a PhD in neurosurgery now, one is dead. That's my son who's dead. But my mother's house was right across the street from the elementary school, and if he had gone to that school, he'd be alive now. So this is an interdependent family, interdependent society of Jamaican, Cuban, Caribbean culture. And that's my family. They like to have annual Christmas dinner. And that's me with my little tyke right here. I cannot begin to tell you of the day-to-day issues in the USA and everything I've lost. But I had to learn certain things. I was supposed to go to school in Canada, but I had visits from some Americans. And we have an anthropology department at FAU, but we don't have a law school here. So Hal Draper was an anthropologist, and he said that hunter-gatherers use gossip, ridicule, and ostracism as social controls. I didn't know that until just a few years ago. And then those social controls do erode into misogyny. I've seen it. It's treating women differently from men in social and professional settings. So, as I search and do research online, I found videos about normalizing misogyny, and the discussions which I start are already on YouTube. And like I said, I won't beat up on certain people's culture, but I notice some paradigms, some permissions, and I hope we can stop the misogyny. So I didn't get to network with my groups. I have 3 groups I'm trying to mobilize, and there were 8 judges at the International Criminal Court, including a Jamaican judge, but now there are 18 judges. This was just one of the cases, $900 million verdict on that case. I don't know the details of the case. So I was noting permissions that certain behaviors that people exhibit were being permitted by other people. And that's Meryl Streep talking about Trump's ridiculing a handicapped person and imitating his handicap. And it gives permission for other people to treat people badly in the same way. So I think that the sheriff had some kind of permission to come down to where I was working 6:45 in the morning, March 18, 2022. So I have a video called Change Management, and I think that Kamala Harris being president will start some of the change, hopefully. And it's about Americans. They always protest, even light fires, and get arrested. And then in 2 weeks, they're gone back to their old life. And this is about, I have 5 sisters, and O.J. Simpson's wife have 3 sisters. And I have a lot of issues about this whole case, and I put on some other videos. So I try to isolate my groups, and so I'm focusing on the Caribbean diaspora because I found that on the internet the Caribbean diaspora lives matter is already on the internet. I was first acquainted with Black Lives Matter, and now I'm seeing the Caribbean diaspora lives matter. And I'm going to focus on that because I'm Caribbean, Cuban, and Jamaican. So that's the three groups: Caribbean Lives Matter, Caribbean People as part of Time None, and Caribbean People as Limited Value. And these are some verdicts from 2008 to 2022. And here is my little tyke. And my sister sends me the pictures, and I just realized that he was my buddy. And Denzel Washington said that your first child is a mother's last love or best love. I should remember, I'll copy the exact words for the next video. And he was perhaps the only person that I could trust. And I miss him so much, so it gives me a deep sinking feeling. So this is a Chinese priest. He said, anger is useful somehow. So I guess I'm mad about everything that happened, and then it's useful. So I hope I heal before I die. And I want to retire happily. It's a life project.